the the
Is that okay,
okay.
guys,
I
to record? Oh,
yeah.
I think we just lost Tara. Oh no, there she is.
Sorry, I pressed the wrong button.
That's okay. I just pressed record. So maybe just let's go with the flow. I mean, I do have questions.
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, April, but so I do feel like we're pushed for time this evening, and I did invite more women to do a roundtable, but I think it's good to go with the flow as well. So I do have questions for you. I've taken a break for 3 or 4 months out because I had a lot of negative targeting going on. And one of the questions Tara was just asking me earlier was what I've been doing, and I kind of didn't really answer it because I wanted to do it in this discussion. But that is one of the questions I have for the divine feminine that I hear this evening is, what have you, because I've really like stepped back the last 3 or 4 months and been out of the picture because I've had my own stuff going on with negative targeting, and it's been one after the other after the other. It's been like constantly kind of one after the other. So I kind of just wanted to check in with everyone and see how you all are, what you've been doing both personally and professionally in the last 3, 4, 5 months, maybe a year. And I know also the other thing I wanted to ask you, I know that normally during these interviews and roundtables, so everyone shares their stuff at the end, but that's something I kind of wanted to start with. Like, what are you doing? What's going on in your world? What's going on in your area? What are you doing professionally? Like, are you doing courses? Are you doing workshops? Are you doing talks? So yeah, I don't know who wants to start.
Go ahead, Tara.
I'm always ready to jump in the beginning. Oh, it's wonderful to be back in online circle with the divine feminines again. How wonderful. And I really love your question. It's completely relevant, Carol. But to just let everyone know who's watching, hi, thanks for being here. I'm Tara Love Perry. I'm a self-love teacher and a trainer. And I've been training therapists now for the past year or more online. And in previous to 2020, that was all in person. Now it's all online, and it's shorter and it's better and it's brilliant. So I'm doing that. And I've got a live masterclass on the 8th, actually, and the 8th, the Lionsgate Day, for therapists, healers, helpers, carers. You can go and check that out on my website. And I'm also giving away an entire course that I used to charge £200 for. And it's the 7 steps to transformational self-love. It's for self-help. It's an incredible method I developed many, many years ago. And I've decided to put it out for free. So when people go to my website, it pops up, you put in your email address, you get it in your inbox every few days, and it's like a full like 9-part video course. And it teaches you how to unconditionally love yourself. So I encourage everyone to go and do that if they want self-love in their life. And thank you for inviting us to share that, Carol.
I think, and I think the work that we're doing is, I just think it's everything, you know. People needs, you know, we're in the space on Earth today where people really need to move forward, you know. Right. So over to you, April.
All righty. I'm a galactic grandmother, a title given to me by Spirit years ago, and I have been working on behalf of the divine feminine for eons. And some years ago, the most profound metaphysical experience I've ever had was the great cosmic mother downloaded her codes into my heart center. And that and being told I was a galactic grandmother started the Galactic Grandmother Project, as I call it. It's doing what we're all doing. It's assisting the collective to get in touch with their own inner selves, find out, start their process of self-exploration, connect to their inner guidance, and I hate to use that phrase, raise your vibration, but raise your awareness of who you are, which is really the like Tara said, is loving yourself, is loving the all, and loving the divine consciousness within you. And to that, I've developed a course myself. I do primarily a lot of personal consulting, guidance work. I've taught some classes, written many books about my past lives. And gosh, over the years, it's hard to think back of everything, but I'm sure I'm forgetting stuff. I've just been on the path of trying to assist others while I personally grow as well. So thank you for this opportunity. I know you and I know each other personally, but it's very nice to be able to connect with Tara. Like I said, I've seen you on other podcasts before.
Yeah, it's lovely to meet you as well, connect. I love your work. It sounds amazing.
I think that, it's what we're all trying to do is just, we've reached a point in our own personal evolution and self-discovery where it's time to turn around and help others. Just give them a little helping hand, a little guidance, perhaps. I started so long ago, there wasn't even the internet. I was, going to the library, going to hippie bookstores, metaphysical bookstores, and going down one course or another, trying to find out the secret to life. And it wasn't actually till some years ago that my higher self, my main guide, contacted me directly and started the real education.
Yeah, maybe that's something we have in common. Like, it's been a lifelong journey for me.
Mm-hmm.
I often talk about their moment of awakening, and it's like there wasn't one. I can't think of one. There was just a continuum, because the upbringing I had was incredibly alternative, and there wasn't an awakening moment. So it's just, when you're an old soul like us, it just feels like, oh, this again. And I think it is. And I'm going to come back to your question, Carol, if I may, because I think one of the fast tracks to my personal development, my growth, my spiritual evolution has been to help others. I would nowhere near be where I am today if I hadn't have helped all the people that I've helped, and got out of my own way and got over my fears and out of my comfort zones and really did things that I never would have wanted to do otherwise, had I not had this enormous passion and enormous drive that made me feel like I had to, get over myself in order to serve others. And then, of course, I was always catching up with the self-love to make sure I wasn't over-giving and getting exhausted, because that used to happen a lot. So it's like finding that balance. And I think that's been a massive part of my growth and my evolution, is giving and receiving in that equal flow. So I'm staying in my source, I'm staying connected, and I'm growing. So I think that might be useful, for people who don't know what direction to take. It's like, do what you do and do what you love, do what you're good at, and then give it to other people, and then you'll really grow. But you have to beware of people that come back and try and sabotage you or dump on you and give you a hard time, send you hate stuff, project on you. I've had that is the moment I began doing this. I mean, it was there already, though, if I'm honest. I already had those kinds of issues from when I was in school. The people, because there's always, I could be the nicest person on earth, but there's always somebody that I'm going to piss off. Like, there's always somebody that's going to not like me, maybe because I'm nice, or think I'm inauthentic, or think I'm only being nice for this and this, because they have trust issues, or because I'm not perfect. I'll be acting out my stuff as well, imperfectly. And I really, that's the thing for me about unconditional love and unconditional self-love, is I'm not going to reject and blame and shame parts of myself that are imperfect. I screw up. I'm a pain in the ass. What can I say? I have wobbly days. I make dumb decisions sometimes. Does that mean I'm going to hate on myself? No. Does that mean I want to go and project it all over other people? No. So when I do my, inner self-love, and I love all of those parts of myself, then that almost can piss people off more.
I
And then I can give them something really good to moan at me about. You just love yourself, don't you? Or you're not being very loving right now, Tara. Love Perry. Sorry, April. What were you going to say?
Oh, that's right. I think sometimes it's just your field. Your energy field can just be irritating to other people, and and there's nothing we can do about it. In fact, that's part of the whole evolution of what we're going through right now.
What can you
Well,
do?
It sounds wonderful. Yes, I was blessed to be able to choose and be born into a family with a full-blooded Native American Indian grandmother who was psychic. She'd always look at our auras and say, "Oh, well, your aura looks, pink or violet today." And my mother was also psychic. She could read people, and she would talk about her past lives that she'd dream about and so forth. So I was lucky enough to grow up in a family where I didn't have to overcome religious dogma. And so that, as I was a child, the things I was experiencing, like prophetic dreams and hearing a voice talk to me about my future, it wasn't something that was crazy wild to discuss with my mother.
Isn't it amazing, though, the journeys that we've had in order to get here? And we're, like Tara was saying just now, when we're so not perfect, and there are days that we're not at our best, and we are going through stuff. A lot of people seem to put healers or people working in the spiritual field on pedestals and expect them to be perfect. And then when you actually, when you actually get to know us, we have days that we don't want to get out of bed. We have those, we have dark days too, and we do go through stuff. But I do feel that we go through that stuff to clear it and to come out the other side. And I think when we do that, we have an effect on the collective as well. We're not just healing our own stuff. It can be to do with the collective, especially to do with relationships and something that's come up for me recently is family members of what to do with the relationship I'm in. So anyway, welcome Rachel Murphy Bonner.
Thank you. Am I calling you Soma now? Because I know you by your...
You can call me anything you want to.
Okay.
Soma
or Soma.
Yeah, either is fine.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late.
Hello.
Hi.
Hiya. Right. There. I'm present.
Thanks for joining us, Rachel. So one of the questions I was just asking April and Tara is what they've been, and if you don't want to share, that's fine, but I was just, one of the questions I just asked just now is what they've been doing for the last 3 or 4 months, both personally and professionally. So I know I've had lots of changes recently, and I was just saying that I've had negative attack after, like, boom, boom, boom. I've had one after the other with the little tiny gaps in between. So, and I know that it's been quite intense, and there is major changes. We're just going through so much, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. And I know that a lot of, like, my own stuff, my old energies are really falling away and clearing, and sometimes it's very difficult to let go. So perhaps, do you want to share who you are, Rachel, and what you do?
Yeah, I resonate with what you're saying. It's been a massive overhaul and change here, and I think we're, in different ways, we're going through some big changes. There seems to be something, you know, energetically, collectively going on. In terms of what I do as a service, I've been running the multidimensional show, which is going through its own transformation as I transform. It's transforming into Inner Quest. That's the new name for it. It feels more fitting for this next chapter. And I've been running conferences, doing interviews, a bit like you, Soma, and running events around ET contact, meditations, the metaphysical topics, having speakers at our conferences. And we had a big one online last year with several speakers, and that culminated in meditation under the skies in Wiltshire. And we saw a large craft above the horizon after doing our meditation to make contact. So it was a beautiful evening. And so, yeah, as I say, I've been going through a bit of a transformation. I'm just rebuilding things again. And I've been running my Reiki and tarot reading services, and just getting back into offering more in terms of meditations and personal development courses, spiritual growth courses. I'm just expanding on those as we speak. So yeah, I've been keeping busy. Personal changes have made me transform, you know, from the inside out. And we're always becoming, aren't we? We're always unfolding, and you get these catalysts that kind of break open that, that I've got the name of the word now. You know, when you turning into a butterfly, you've got that metamorphosis. It feels very much like that. Sorry.
Metamorphosis.
Yeah, the metamorphosis, yes. Feels very much like that. You know, we're always becoming something else, and we're transforming, and there's a blueprint that's there, just waiting to be sprung into life. It feels very much like that. And talking to other people through my work, it feels like it's something that's shared. Just need to be there for each other, and look for the opportunities to grow and to heal and to love ourselves more deeply, and love others more authentically and deeply. I think that is, a universal knowing, isn't it? That that's where we're going back to, and that's where we are, in our truth. We are love. It's remembering that, through all the storms and the ups and downs that this school of life brings.
And we never get to a point where we stop learning, because then we just stagnate. And I think it's really important for people to understand that we shouldn't be spiritual people working in the field publicly should not be put on pedestals, because
No.
we have days when we're going through stuff personally in our own lives where we don't want to get out of bed. And I know I just said this, but I'm just re-emphasizing it, really, because, you know, we may be galactic, but we also have human DNA. And we're learning to navigate how to be here in this world, in the 3D, that where the consciousness is raising, but we're not there yet, you know. And we do have human DNA that we're trying to balance with our galactic DNA. It's a kind of a swaying, it's a balance that we're trying to, or I am at least, and I'm sure it's collective, where we're trying to it's almost like being in two worlds at the same time, two different realities at the same time, and trying to raise up the frequency and not be pulled back down by the relationships or the situation or things that are going on, not just collectively but around us in our own lives. We're trying to, I mean, Laura is really coming to mind as I'm talking, because of some of her experiences where she's really, you know, been very ungrounded in her past as well as me, where she's had real trouble trying to grounding, you know, and I'm sure she would agree with me. But so it's such a fascinating time that we're in. Excuse the dog.
Yeah, it feels like a time of well, it's always been a time of integration. It's never been different, really. The integration of, if you like, heaven and earth, that, you know, you call the galactic, the celestial, and the very earthly, physical, human condition that we exist in. It's the work is to integrate the both, isn't it, and bring heaven and earth together. And yeah, we're muddling through. We're muddling through this. We're not given a script, are we? This is the journey, is the destination.
Yeah, I think that we forget our own contracts. I mean, we do forget our own contracts. One thing I know, what I really wanted to share with you guys, because I wanted to get, like, I really wanted to hear what you think. But one of the experiences I had recently over the last couple of months was to do with Atlantis and the Atlantis reversal. And I've had it before. I had it a couple of years ago. But it was to do with the Atlantis reversal, which I call it, or they call it, the Atlantis reversal, but it's to do with now. It's parallel, kind of almost a parallel timeline, because I'll just share what I was shown, and then please can I get your feedback on it, like honest feedback. So what I was shown is that we're in a parallel timeline now to what happened at Atlantis, but things went wrong at Atlantis, and lower negative ET energies came in and overthrew Atlantis, and that was the downfall of Atlantis. And now we're in a parallel situation where instead of things going wrong this time, they go right, and we do get to ascend. So the whole Atlantis thing was about us ascending, but we didn't ascend. We descended and devolved, and now we get the opportunity, and I do see us doing it. We get the opportunity to evolve and ascend into a higher state of being than we were even in during Atlantis. And one of the things I was shown more recently that's really important is that we need to go back to our, and this is quite personal to me as well, but that we need to go back to our past life in Atlantis and heal that past life in order for it to affect now, because there is no time. Time is irrelevant. It's almost like Atlantis in history is a split second. There doesn't seem to be any, it doesn't matter about the the physical time in between. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and see what you think, or get your feedback on it. Like, does that resonate with you?
That does, very much so.
Yeah, I think we always need to resolve and heal issues from those past lives. That's definitely important. And so many of us, like I've written a short story about my life in Atlantis, the last one that I had there. And I think in talking to other people, we've all had such different experiences on Atlantis, just like in Lemuria, you know. So it's always interesting to hear other people's perspectives about their time on Atlantis and the takeaway from it.
What's yours, April?
I was in the north eastern corner of the Atlantis continent in a small kind of a fishing village. And I had been involved my entire life with the temple there. And I actually became the high priestess, not because I was like one of the older priestesses, but because the then head high priestess was given guidance to she saw what was going to happen with Atlantis, that it was in our particular area, it was a red crystal that exploded that brought in, you know, destruction. And she had picked a younger, and that was me, priestess, to be able to take the people. I took the important artifacts from the temple, and I took people that we could fit onto a boat, and we left and we went across the ocean, which I believe was to Egypt, because I could see tall barren cliffs in the distance where we were headed across the ocean. So in that last lifetime, I left Atlantis before it went under. Or how about, did you have a past life that you recall?
I've had lots of, I don't know about past lives in Atlantis, but lots of dreams and kind of more out of body experiences about it. And because I'm a soul reader, you were saying about how you come from a lineage of psychics. And I had the same thing. I was just kind of naturally born psychic, and I didn't realize until my late 20s exactly how psychic I was and what I was picking up. But I do this thing called soul reading. So I read people's souls, which is like their own personal Akashic record of everything they've ever had ever. And all of these disharmonies, all of the past traumas, they all stand out to me. They're like the dissonance in the field, as I'm sure you're aware, you've seen. And so in answer to your question at the same time, Carol, absolutely, whatever's out of harmony in our field, because in this quantum reality, everything exists right now. It doesn't matter if it was 10, 12,000 years ago, or even longer, or if it was connected to our ancestors or past lives. All of those threads of our tapestry are here now. And it's really important, if we are going to anchor our spirit into this body and bridge heaven and earth, and whether we call that ascension or embodiment or enlightenment or whatever we call that, evolution, that integration needs to happen when we're fully connected. And we can't fully connect, as I'm sure you guys are aware, when you've got stuff in the way, when you've got broken wires and loose, you know, open loops where things haven't been resolved. You can't move forward until you've healed and resolved all of that stuff. So absolutely, resolving past life stuff from Atlantis would be really important to your own personal growth, evolution, ascension. And also, I believe, for the planet, because when she's experienced things, that needs healing so that she's not repeating the same thing all over again, because that's what happens, doesn't it? If we don't heal it, it repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats. through generations, in our soul cycle, in our lifetimes. It just repeats everywhere. So yeah, absolutely, I completely agree. And I love that you had a vision, or you saw that download where we do complete it. And is it in this lifetime? I always believed it was going to happen in my lifetime, but so did my dad, and he's mid-70s now, so it better happen soon. You know, he's hanging in there waiting. But yeah, in terms of my own thing with Atlantis, mostly it's been through dreams and kind of, like I said, out of body things, and kind of just flipping dimensions, if you like, rather than going back in time. It's like I'm just in an alter reality. So it was parallel. But the main connection I've had with it has been reading other people's souls and reading their records and seeing the genetic mutations, exactly the same thing that's happening now, where there's cloning, where there's trying to split the body from the soul and trying to capture exactly what they're doing now, right? And all the AI stuff. And it's like, and then of course that was the downfall of Atlantis. Mother Earth went, no, this is not happening. Or whatever forces, you know, people believe were responsible for that, whether it was our own self-destruction. What we did, we self-destroyed. And yeah, we can do exactly the same thing again now. And I'm really of a lot of faith and championing that we don't destroy ourselves, that we do. Maybe it feels like we get to the brink and everything looks like it's awful, but we learn, and that doesn't happen again. That's my wish.
That's what I see. It really is. I don't see a negative outcome this time. I see a positive outcome. And I think that the negative powers that be it's like catching water in your hands. It's just I just don't see a positive outcome for the negative agenda. I don't see it. I think we've come too far in the last 5 years. We've come too far. I think we've gone beyond the halfway mark. You know, as light workers, I think the energies are super intense. I think we are, even us, you know, even like I hate the labels. I really hate the labels of spiritual teacher and spiritual worker and light worker, and even sometimes starseed, because it's so limiting, and it puts such a box and a label on it. But I think that I think as souls that we are here today, that, you know, the four of us, I think, and everyone else of a similar ilk, I think we actually need to give ourselves a pat on the back and realize that we are further ahead than we see. We're further ahead than we see. That's what I think. Like individually on our soul journeys, I think. Yeah. Sorry, Rachel, I interrupted there.
No, not at all. No, that's interesting to hear other people with their experiences and insights, and very clear memories there, April. For me, yes, I resonate with that. I've been feeling this. I call myself intuitive rather than psychic. I get feelings and knowings, and I've definitely felt an affinity to water just lately. A lot more affinity to water, and I know that's my own personal journey with healing and water being a healing modality. But I also feel, and I've felt for a long time, this affinity to the Lemurian and Atlantean period. And I've had glimpses, I've had dreams, probably more going into the early Egyptian period. Actually, I remember a very vivid dream where I was a cat being, and in this you know, in the temple or pyramids, and feeling very much kind of different to everyone else, and being a bit of an outcast, which is I don't know what that was about, but yeah, that was one thing. But I've also had visions of seeing a green crystal on a sandy beach, and all of us around this green crystal, and doing some kind of activation work on meditating or collecting our consciousness together to kind of create something with this crystal. I've had, you know, glimpses of things, and just a natural knowing. And yes, I resonate with what you said, Soma, about you know, this time period. It does feel very much like we're on a precipice, and we're holding the light, we're holding the kind of I keep going back to this word blueprint. It feels like we're holding on to this blueprint, you know, this this beautiful golden age that is there. It's already there, actually. We're just you know, aligning to it. We're just drawing our energies and our hearts and our minds to really get into that dimension, or that reality. It really does feel like it's just beyond that veil just a little bit. And yeah, we can do it. We can absolutely do it. And I love that you've got that clear knowing, Soma, on that. Yeah. Yeah, let's make it happen.
And I years ago was given a vision, and more importantly, the feeling of this beautiful, I would call it New Earth. I don't know if it's a New Earth here on this planet or where, but it is definitely all that we fulfilled the potential, both as humans and this beautiful planet, our mother that we're on. And it was love. Everyone was taken care of. The children were not in danger. They were raised with love, knowing that they bring in the higher consciousness. And the only thing I haven't been shown, and I think is probably on purpose, is I haven't been shown all these speed bumps that we seem to be going through to get to this ultimate beautiful Earth. And I think it's because we're supposed to hold the vision and put our energy into manifesting this beautiful future.
Aho to that. Thank you for saying that out loud and reminding us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually guided the meditation along those lines, actually. Yeah, just, you know, this vision of collaboration and abundance, and you know, free energy and free expression, people following their passions and being creative, you know, wonderful works of art, and you know, different dwellings as well. Sort of these different dwellings, very much in affinity with, you know, earth and, you know, nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one big eco village, really.
Yeah.
Did you guys have the feeling, and also anybody watching this, did you ever have the feeling that when you got to Earth, or when you became conscious as a child, that you went, this isn't the place I signed up for? Because the place I signed up for, everybody was happy, there was love, we were in nature, there were the nice eco buildings, everything was earthy, but we still had the cosmic kind of technology, but it wasn't the way it wasn't, you know, crazy the way it is now. So because I had that too, and so I'm thinking that as you were speaking there, Rachel, I was like, wow, well, all of us, lots of us have that memory. And it, to me, growing up, I thought I was in the wrong planet completely. I was like, get me out of here constantly. And then about 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, and my kids were really little, I suddenly realized that, oh, maybe I'm here to help that reality come in. I thought it was already going to be here, right? I know that you felt the same thing, because I think a lot of us feel this way. And I'd be really cool for people to write comments below, and how many of us actually have that feeling, that whether it's a feeling like you have feelings, Rachel, whether it's a vivid memory or a realization like you have, April, other, you know, downloads like you, Soma, like whichever way it comes through, who has that memory? Because I've always felt like it's a done deal. That end game of love is a done deal. That's why we're here. I know that we all feel like that. in our heart and soul, right? In the body and memory and everything, in the water memory. It's like, that's why we're here. But it's so easy to get pulled out of that and go into the fear and into the doubt when you see all of the nut stuff that's happening in the world that doesn't, because I'm in a WhatsApp group, and they asked yesterday, the leader of this WhatsApp group, a really powerful, amazing man, and he was like, yes, we're all ascending and evolving. And somebody in the group asked, but are we really? Are people really becoming more conscious? Is it really happening? Or is that a story we tell ourselves, you know, whilst everything's going off the edge of that precipice? And it's, what do you think?
Well, I have always felt very grounded into Mother Earth. I never felt like I wasn't supposed to be here, but I would, throughout my childhood, at nighttime, look up at the stars and just wonder, where the heck are we? What are we doing? What am I doing here? Because I would look up and I would realize that it just, I felt foreign where I was. But at the same time, I always felt very grounded into the beauty of nature. My family was very much into camping and doing things out in nature. So I think that helped.
That really helps.
One of the things I had growing up as a child, I had so much stuff going on spiritually, and then of course I had a negative experiences as well. But anyway, I'm kind of sick of talking about the negative stuff. But one of the things I had as a child was remembering past lives, like from very young age. And then I remember, I think I was around 8 or something, where I began having memories of being in Native America. And I've always, and because of that, because I remember it, I've always had such a strong like pull and connection, and like I remember it like it was yesterday, and anyway, I think America is very privileged to have. I mean, it sounds silly the way I'm wording it, but I think America is very privileged to have Native Americans, because, being an island, and because I moved over from the UK a few years ago, we don't have that over here. That's kind of what I mean. We don't have that. Like there's not that space to go to in Ireland or in the UK. So I
Yeah, the indigenous people were very much genocided here in the United States, but nevertheless, there's I can feel the connection to them very strongly, their love of the earth and nature, and they were very much connected to our star families as well.
Yeah, I feel a link to that too, to that culture, indigenous tribes. So yeah, it's multi-dimensional, multifaceted, isn't it? We have all these different links.
Yeah.
If we go deep enough, far enough, we're linked to it all, aren't we?
Yes, we definitely are.
Yeah. But I too have that feeling, hence why I probably do contact work. Like, home is nature, and I resonate with nature, and I go out, and see the trees and the plants, and I'm connecting with all these beautiful geometry, and the energy of nature is just wonderful, and I recognize it, but also recognize home as somewhere up there. It's like, or up there, or up there. It's kind of like, this multifaceted feeling. It certainly makes it interesting, doesn't it, what we bring to the table with all our different experiences. And I want to go back a few steps, something that occurred to me or thought that's probably not new, but I don't know if you resonate with the Matrix films, but I feel almost like we've got this overlay on what is actually happening with something else that's kind of almost hijacked people's minds. It's kind of this illusory world that's kind of overlaid over this world that we remember or that we feel should be here. It's like it's there somehow, but there's this kind of hijacking of people's minds, and we've got this kind of false reality, a matrix reality, if you like, this 3D realities. It feels very much like it's yeah, just using the same words again, really. I'm repeating myself. Illusory. I want people feel that too. I'm seeing some nods.
Yeah, programmed.
Yeah. So we're creating it. It's like we're creating it by the connection of the minds to the thought forms that have been placed there. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah.
totally. Yeah, it's like we really are creating as we go. So we have to be very mindful of, and the more the older I get and the more experiences I have, I've become much more aware of that over the last year, where things are manifesting within like minutes or hours or days, so we have to be so mindful of our energy and what we are thinking, because thoughts are creative, and we're creating that into our reality. So we have to get conscious. We have to become awake. We have to become aware.
And I think what you're saying there, Rachel, is with that illusory, what can actually not seem illusory can seem very, very real and very, very scary, depending on how much you tune in on it and actually see it. And of course, the more you tune in on it and dive into what's there and peel back the layers, you're going to find more and more and more and more, and you can go down the rabbit holes. There's millions of rabbit holes now, isn't there? There's not just, it used to just be one. now there's so many, and it's a minefield, and you can get really buried and really lost in the dark going down those routes. And I know in 2020 that really kicked off big time, and I know people are still wandering around, and you can get lost in that rabbit warren with all of those rabbit holes, because it's very representational, at least from my perspective, of our minds. Don't we find ourselves wandering down the rabbit holes in our own minds, trying to figure out how this all works, where we're supposed to be, who we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to be doing? It's the same rabbit holes in the mind, same dark holes that can get you completely lost and buried in here, instead of actually being in the connected state, being in that, talking about blueprints, Soma, the divine blueprint that we are, which is already connected. We don't have to do any work for that. My spirit is fully in my body. I'm here. Wow. The earth is beautiful. Everything's amazing. There's love here. Mother Earth is love. Spirit is love. Everything's love. I'm love. It's already here. Like you said, the divine blueprint is here. And then the human blueprint, the matrix stuff, that actually needs resolving, where all of those triggers are in, where all of those past life memories are stuck in that blueprint, waiting for us to trip over them like a landmine, go, oh my goodness, I need to heal this, resolve it, clean it, so that we are basically kind of dissolving, if you like, the human template or the human blueprint and coming back. But perhaps maybe it's like that, maybe it isn't. But yeah, I want to encourage people to, because where our energy goes, attention, or where our attention flows, energy goes. If we're going to get stuck in our rabbit warren minds up here trying to figure out, am I from Atlantis? What am I doing? Or down those rabbit holes of what's really going on in the world and all that, crazy stuff, is actually we're giving attention to things that we don't want to create. We're giving attention to things that's really going to get us stuck and perhaps keep us going round loops for much longer and taking us longer to get where we want to get. So I would encourage people to okay, there's an argument for being aware, but don't spend your life wandering around those dark rabbit holes. Get out, get connected, plant your seeds, grow your garden, do your things that you want to do that creates, you know, that's aligned with that now reality of what you're saying is that timeline, that end result, that love, that new earth that we want to live in. It's like, let's do it now. Let's not wait for something to happen. Let's just do it now. I hope that
You've got my
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that is so important. What you're saying, Tara, is that we need to stop waiting. We need to stop waiting for the Pleiadians or Jesus or anything outside of ourselves. We are the strongest of the strong, and we came here for this. We came here to assist and to make a difference, and we really need to stop looking outside ourselves, whether it's on the spiritual level for the Pleiadians, or whether it's the doctor or the politician or the teacher, you know, the school teacher. We need to stop looking outside of ourselves for the answer and look within, because that's where it is. And it's also very connected to the love frequency and the love vibration.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mic
I mean,
drop.
is that Tara?
Mic drop. You were like, that was it. You said it.
Yeah. So I know we're a little bit pushed for time. How are you guys doing for time? How
I'm
long?
fairly flexible. I mean, I've left my 12-year-old downstairs. She sounds like she's talking to somebody on the phone, so she's occupied.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to gracefully bow out, ladies. I've really enjoyed sitting with you. I hope we do this again, but I need to be somewhere. So I'm going to send you all so much love and thank everybody for watching. So much love. And let's just remember that, you know, the dream that we came in with, or the vision or the soul memory that we came in with, let's just stay there. And then it's now. Yay.
Yes.
Lots of
Yes.
love.
Thank you, Tara. Bye. Oh.
You guys like to continue?
Maybe we could wrap up. I think it feels like we've come to a natural conclusion. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think I would love to do this again, but I think we should probably wrap it up.
Okay. So I would really like to do a meditation, but I actually feel like we should all be doing it together. I feel like if you were here, I'd want to hold your hands and create a circle. So do you think we could do that in a meditation where we all get to lead the meditation or be part of it, rather than me leading it or Rachel leading it or April leading it? I know Tara's gone now, but can we do that? Can we do like a joint meditation where we just let what comes through come through? Like a flow?
Oh, I yawn,
One.
start changing energies. I start yawning. Why don't you lead us in a meditation?
I can do that, but will you join me?
It just depends. So we'll see if something comes in, I will.
Okay,
If
that's what I
not,
mean. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, if something comes in that you feel you need to, like a download or something, even a word that you need to share or something.
yeah, well, I'm in energy right now. Every time I yawn, that's me. That's because I'm a quantum healer, and when I'm working, I'm constantly yawning.
Okay, so I'm actually going to turn my camera off.
Okay.
A second, while we do the meditation. So for people listening, if you close your eyes, get comfortable. And just relax, using the breath to step into a quiet space. And I'm visualizing a circle of us, April on my left and Rachel on my right. I'm also seeing other women there where we're in a circle, a sacred circle of strong, divine, feminine women that are here to help shift humanity forward, helping to raise the consciousness. We were born for this time. This is why we are here. Whether we are known well publicly or not doesn't really matter. That doesn't affect the impact that we have individually on raising the awareness and the consciousness of humanity. Whether it's one person or 100, we make a difference. And how beautiful is that, that we're creating a new earth right now. This is ascension. We're in the middle of it. We're on the precipice of such great change, the likes of which has never occurred on earth before, not in the way it's unfolding today. We've never had this before on earth. Never had it before on earth. Not in the way it's unfolding and changing. And I can feel myself going into a channeling, which I don't really want to do.
I can envision we women standing in a circle, and we are holding hands, and we're breathing into our heart centers, and we're bringing divine higher consciousness down into our bodies as we breathe in and breathe out. And we're beginning to form a vortex of energy. It's swirling around from one person in the circle to the next as it keeps going around and around, creating a beautiful vortex of white energy with a little bit of pink in it. And the energy is beginning to rise, circling around in a vortex. It's circling around. We're breathing in and breathing out, and we are watching with our mind's eye this vortex of energy as it leaves and goes higher and higher into the collective consciousness. And we are spreading divine higher frequency and love into the collective consciousness through this vortex that we have created amongst us. And our intention is that even after we break the circle today, that love will continue to infiltrate, enlighten the collective consciousness around the planet. And so it is. And it is so.
Thank you, April. Rachel, is there anything that's coming to you?
I see the earth enveloped in this beautiful golden light. And radiating this beautiful energy of love, peace, of harmony, of integration and wholeness into every living being, every living entity, and into the heart of Mother Earth, reminding us of our true nature and of this divine blueprint that is ours, that is everyone's. And we are connecting to a unified field which connects to the universe, the multiverse. One living, breathing field of intelligence and love. May we bring that into our daily lives and into our daily interactions. And bring it within as well as without. And so might it be. Pass it back to you now, Soma, if you'd like to conclude.
Thank you, Rachel. I was actually on mute then, and I was just saying, when you're ready, open your eyes. Drink some water. Get back into your bodies. For some people, that will be harder than others. Others are more balanced. So when you're ready, open your eyes and step back into the now and breathe. And know that we've got this. We've got this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Woo.
I love you guys. You are amazing.
This has been lovely. Thank you, Soma, for inviting me on, inviting us all on. It's been a real pleasure connecting with you, April, and Tara, who's left now. Reconnecting with you, Soma, talking virtually but face to face. Yeah, really enjoyed this conversation.
Me too. Me too. I've been I've taken a back seat the last couple of months, but it's so good to be back. Like, so good to be back. And a couple of last things before we go is, do you guys have anything coming up that you would like to share? Like, where can people find you? If you send me your links, I will put them on into the YouTube description. But what do you guys have coming up? Do you have any workshops or talks or anything?
I have a lot of interviews coming up on my YouTube channel, Galactic Grandmother Heart to Heart. You'll be one of them. We'll be recording here coming up on the 13th. I still have to send you the link, but I have a lot of people scheduled to come on. So that's, and I can be reached at my website, galacticgrandmother.com as well, for classes and books and courses and sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, April. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
I shall check that out, April.
And I definitely, I'm going to contact you if we're not already friends on Facebook. I want to connect.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So for me, as I say, things are in transition, but for now, people can find me, my work, on multidimensionalshow.co.uk. and I've also got a presence on Facebook and on TikTok. TikTok is under my name, which is Rachel Murphy Bonner. On Facebook, the same. You can connect to me on there. I post things publicly on my profile. I also have my Still Point Centre page and the Multidimensional Show page. And from there, you can find out other things that I'm doing, you know, the contact work, the meditations, Reiki. Yeah, I've got a few things in the pipeline, holistic fairs locally and down in the south in Surrey. So you can come along to that if you're in the UK or visiting the UK. Yeah, so look forward to hearing from people.
Thank you, Rachel. Both you, but it's just like it's such an honor, actually, and I feel so privileged to connect with you guys, because I feel your energy. I feel how I feel your energy, and I don't know, I just feel your energy, and it's yeah.
It's the sisterhood. We love each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, April. But it's also a feeling of like, I know you guys. I know you. I fucking know you.
Yeah,
You know?
we recognize that energy signature.
Yeah, and that kind of sparks my stomach energy. That gives me the passion and the fire energy. It gives me the fire energy to propel myself forward and to connect with other people, you know, and other women and guys as well too, you know, light warriors and light workers. So there is something very quickly I wanted to share of what I'm doing. I'm going to be doing an Atlantis reversal workshop on the 2nd and 3rd of September, which is very much to do with past lives and healing. So I will put that I will put that in the links in the YouTube description box, along with everyone else's links as well. Yeah, so unless there's anything else, guys, I think is there anything else?
I think it just remains to say thank you, and yeah, let's connection. Lots of love to you, Soma, and to you, April, and Tara, where have you gone now? And of course, love to everyone that's been watching this, and yeah, I hope it's encouraging for you. You know, things that we've been discussing. Do connect with us if you feel drawn.
Yeah, and do come and leave comments on YouTube as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, come and leave your comments, because we're all in this together, you know, and united we stand. That's how we break free, is standing united, standing in that circle, no matter how large or small it is. And we've got this. So with that, I'm going to say see you soon, and I love you guys.
Okay.
Oh.
Bye.
See you.